community right at the beginning of our project. And for us, it's really about having this community, cultivating it, and empowering that community. So I know Leo and BC will talk about a series of different things that we're running as part of our project, like our Dynamic Access Fund. And really one of the core principles to that is community governance and really empowering the community to go ahead and vote on how we run this project, what kind of tools we build, and how we spend our money and invest it and make more and benefit the lives of all of us.
And currently right now, guys, it's about $500,000 in the Dynamic Access Fund. And we're going to talk more about that. So thank you, Tala. Why don't we roll on to the next slide here? So Leo, do you want to talk through the tokenomics and the breakdown of Shiburai?
Well, certainly. So we launched with a lower supply of about 7 million. We have a chart right here to break down where that's allocated to. We launched with 11% on Uniswap. We chose Uniswap for now, although we're building our own swap and we plan on migrating our liquidity over once that's done. We have some unique reward mechanisms that we've reserved supply for, such as spirit staking and imbuement, which are both forms of spirit training, which are both forms of staking. We're looking to expand and are already in contact with many exchanges, and we've reserved 20% supply for that. We have another unique community reward system set up that we call the Bounty Board, and we've allocated 7% of our supply to help our community earn rewards as we set out missions and tasks and quests. And yeah, so right now we have a smaller circulating supply. That number is not quite accurate. This is more of when we launched. We've performed some burns, and these have changed since then. So we'll have this updated pretty soon. And
we have burned 6,000 tokens. Is that right so far? Removed from circulating supply?
On V2, yes. Yep. Awesome.
And Tala, let's go to the next slide here. Go ahead.
Sure thing. So our token is a fiat transfer token. Those are pretty popular for generating rewards for members. And percentages, as you see below, are 1% for reflection, which means after you buy, all transactions that take place afterwards, you'll be able to receive a little portion of that at 1%, distributed based on your percentage of holdings compared to circulating supply. We have a marketing and development fund. Marketing is really big. We know it's one of the keys to success is getting your name out, and we focus both on organic growth as well as paid marketing. We have Transcendence Burn, which we'll describe a little bit more in detail later, which receives 4% of that fee, and a Dynamic Access Fund, which is our reward pool for holders, where we have governance to decide, and we'll show you where we set our guidelines for that later, but to help bring back more rewards for anyone holding Shiburai or our NFTs.
You'll see Certic on that page. We have, in fact, applied and paid for our Certic audit at the top right there. Thanks, Tala. And yes, we can go to the next page. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's do it. Oh, Certic's on the way. And for our token locker contract, Leo, and for the vesting contracts for the swap, that audit is going through Solidity. Is that right? Solidity Finance?
Yeah, we're looking at chain salting and Solidity Finance. And we'll update the community as soon as we have more news on that.
Awesome. I'm really excited to hear about this Dynamic Access Fund. This part is going to be really cool.
Yeah, so about 500K in there now. Basically, this is a pool of money that's created, and we split it into 4 tranches. Leo, do you want to talk it through a bit?
Yeah, certainly. So the whole idea is taking this Dynamic Access Fund and trying to diversify how we can invest it to reward with both low-risk investments as well as high-risk investments, and some more conventional ways of staking, et cetera. And we hold governance based on all of these decisions. And so let's kind of talk through how we've allocated these funds. So yeah, as I mentioned before, there's 4% of the fees go into this Dynamic Access Fund, and we have about $500,000 right now. We think 10% should go towards bot investments, such as trading bots or sniping bots, or developing our own bots as well, maybe Telegram bots for well alerts, etc., as well as delegation or validation on different blockchains, especially as we expand to other chains besides ETH to generate more stable APY returns. I think, for example, Matic and Harmony are sitting around 10 to 13%, and same with Cosmos. So that's definitely a possibility. We have higher risk. Perhaps our community would like to own some Bored Ape yacht clubs together or other NFTs. Of course, we'll let the community decide, but we'll take higher risk, maybe investing in DAOs, etc., to benefit from the high APY. As you see right here, also 30% towards our Launchpad access. So this access includes creating presences in metaverses, whether it's buying land and then renting assets from the land, in whether it's Network or Sandbox, etc. This is also for IDO platforms. Sometimes the community may not have enough TrustPad or Kickstarter, etc. tokens themselves to be able to get in onto a project that's coming up, and we want to be able to claim spots by staking those tokens and then allocate access to our members that way. And so it'll be a nice opportunity for new projects that are coming up that you can't personally get access to, but you'll have access through our Shiburai community.
That's super cool.
Are there any questions so far?
Let me see here. Let's take a look. Sorry, I had you on full screen mode. It looks like you're good to keep going. Did you already mention the dashboard by chance? Or is that on the next one?
No, we haven't talked about the dashboard that's in development right now.
Oh, okay. All right, perfect.
Yep. If you look at viralcrypto.app, you'll see we're very capable of it. And we're just sort of thinking through the right way to present. And then also it's development time. Can we go to the next slide, Tala? The dashboard is for sure coming. Leo, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're thinking dashboard was?
Yeah, so we're on the bounty board, but I'll go ahead and talk about the dashboard for a second. So we've just completed our 4 out of 5 of our token locking contracts, which will be part of our Armory services. And that includes a token locking, LP locking. We're also creating a unique mechanism that'll operate sort of like gift cards if you want to send ETH and lock it away to an address for the holidays or for birthdays, or et cetera, or market that as a way to lock away crypto in a will. We have unique mechanisms we're setting up there. And we're getting started as well on our swap. And so we're building the UI all together right now with these various components. So one of the big components too, now that we're on this slide, is the bounty board. And this will be a place where we'll have quests listed, or whether it's for helping us expand by word of mouth and then getting rewarded for that. Or if we have art contests, perhaps we're trying to generate some fan art and see what our community can come up with. We know that everyone out there's, has a diversified set of skills, and we think everyone should be able to be rewarded for those skills as well, for being part of our community. And so you'll be able to check in on current tasks and what we're up to that week and be able to benefit from that financially. So are there any questions right now on the Shiburai board? I didn't quite read it right off. We'll have the slide available in the link, but
yeah, no, guys. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's super cool. I think that, when you're talking about the quest and you're making it more interactive with the community, I love this aspect about it. And I think it's really cool. There's so many things that we're going to go through that I'm really hyped up about, but I love the fact that you're rewarding the community for basically, pumping their own bags or, doing whatever objective needs to be done. I love that aspect. But if you guys want to, we can work through, if you guys want to work through some of the utility on the white paper and things like that, we can take all the questions at the end. I'm getting some that are coming in via DM, so I'm just going to let you guys go away with it, and then we'll wrap it up with some questions and stuff.
Let's go to the next page then. Thank you, tall sir. So I think when we talk about the Transcendence Burn, I would like to start off with, we have performed this once, and we went from 75% price point. We almost hit the all-time high using our Transcendence Burn. Leo, do you want to talk about it?
Sure. So when we were brainstorming the right tokenomics for this project, we looked around and saw a lot of projects burn their tokens, and we wanted to really extract as much value from that process as possible. I feel oftentimes burning tokens is really more of a marketing scheme for projects. It never really creates value for the holders. It's usually not the circulating supply that's burnt. It's usually comes from outside of an exchange, never held any value, or sometimes simply the project launches and sends half of their entire supply to a celebrity to gain attention that way, and then hope that the celebrity doesn't, dump their bag. So we wanted to create more stability and then go beyond that. And we think we've discovered a way, and we've just proven it works wonderfully to create value for our holders. And so this mechanism we call the Transcendence Burn. As transactions occur, we accrue liquidity that automatically gets injected into the AMM pool. And what happens is we burn tokens out of circulating supply by removing the liquidity pair and then immediately investing the ETH with buybacks, which will remove more tokens from circulating supply, and then we burn those. We don't send them to a wallet. They actually get erased from existence, so they'll never experience any more sell pressure. And so we're concentrating the ETH that's in the pool into a smaller amount of circulating supply, creating true deflation and long-term scalability of price.
When we did initiate our first Transcendence Burn, I believe we bought back and burned something around 130 ETH. Something around there.
Yeah, it's about about $500,000 on day 2, I think it was.
B1, yeah. Tyler, why don't we go to the next one? And there are more will come, guys. There'll be stealth injections, stealth buybacks, stealth burns. They will happen, and they will help us transcend. So imbuement and spirit training, we're talking about staking, token staking and NFT staking. So Leo, why don't I let you take this away?
Certainly. So right here, we haven't included any APYs or any guarantees of percentages yet. We're working through the correct emission rates for our staking procedures, but we believe that rewarding our community is pretty much always our number one priority. And so, of course, we wanted staking to be a part of that. So spirit training is our term for allowing you to set your Shiburai aside for concentration. And we plan on rewarding longer term commitments with boost for APY gains to receive more of this, more of your Shiburai back. Imbuement is where you deposit your NFT from our generative collections, and they will also help you gain more Shiburai. And the effects will be compounding. So if you start with our kimonos and you gain our katanas and kabutos, and you put them all into the dashboard on your Shiburai, you'll be able to gather greater power and more Shiburai tokens. And that's the summary of those plans.
Awesome stuff.
Go on. All right, so we did have our first successful kimono event by then. So we, I believe, had 100 folks that entered, 100 buys, 0.25 or greater, so that's closed. I want to be clear about that. But it went on for about a day. Is that right, Talo?
Yeah, it did. It went up for a day, and we got 100 whitelisted addresses for the kimono event.
So that was like ahead of schedule for you guys, based on what I saw. Like it was going to go till the 4th. So at this point, if it's already filled, then ahead of schedule, what you guys thought? Did that fill faster than you guys anticipated?
Yes. Yes. Surprisingly, it filled much faster than we originally anticipated.
Awesome. All right, now we're on to some fun stuff. We got some NFT armory.
Yeah, sure. So, as you know, those pictures are not representative of our artwork. We want to keep our artwork a surprise for everyone. So, here's more of a display of the components, what our NFT collections will comprise of, and of course, every Shiburai must first be clothed. So, our first NFT collection coming are the kimonos, and in order to claim that, you must hold Shiburai, and it will only cost 1 Shiburai to burn in order to claim your kimono. After the kimono, we'll move on to the katana and then eventually the kabutos to complete the collection. And these will all have unique attributes that will have boost for the imbuement staking or other rewards and governance that we have planned. I think one of the most exciting things for us are once we have this art generated, we really want the community to have a presence, not just on Telegram or on social medias, but in virtual reality. We want to reach out and partner with many different metaverses and have these 3D rendered NFTs so our users can walk around and market for and brandish their belongings of our NFT collection and get together and hang out and have a good time. So,
yeah, no, I think it's a super cool plan in the roadmap to have. I think that kind of that's your branding. That's that's your marketing. Just like we all drive cars that are labeled as such as a certain brand. It's kind of marketing as you're walking around with it. I love that aspect.
Yeah, awesome. We're very excited too. Can't wait for the Shiburai to hold their kimonos and katanas.
Exactly.
Tyler, can we move to the next slide, sir? Thank you, sir. So the armory, guys. What's going on right now is we started with the token locker. So if you know Team Finance, of course, if you know Unicrypt, when a new token is out, some folks are asking for that to be renounced. We now have our own token locker, fees redistributed to holders, and competitive fees. As Leo was saying, you say 4 out of 5 vesting contracts already done? You only started a couple days ago, brother. Go on.
Yeah, certainly. So we have the ability for you to lock away just tokens. Also, something that we think is very important for projects that are early on is guaranteeing that pre-sellers follow rules. Oftentimes, pre-sellers will get into a project, they'll accumulate a large amount of tokens, the project launches. Within an hour, it shoots up 4 or 5x, and then they all dump, and the project really stumbles afterwards. So we think vesting with some unique parameters and features to set durations of time for unlocking, as well as specified amounts, that creates a trustless system to help protect projects that are just getting started. And I think it'll be very attractive for future partnerships for us.
Yep. And then what happened was, guys, Uniswap pushed an update a couple days ago, right? That caused a V3 interface and V2 router issue for what we believe is for reflection tokens. And this really escalated our timeline for the completion of the swap with the DEX, the decentralized exchange. Leo, do you want to talk a little bit about our plans for completing that?
Certainly. So while the UI itself, we have some features we're going to announce pretty soon that are in development. For our own AMM, we were looking at how to really incentivize LP holders. We think for investors, it's important to have a competitive but lower fee than Uniswap, while having a higher distribution to LP holders. Part of those fees will go towards rewards for Shiburai holders. And also, we have this IDO boost is kind of what we're calling it right now. But a portion of our fees will also go to partnered tokens that launch through our AMM in order to help seed them, whether it's through liquidity or buys. That'll be a decision our community makes too. We'll vote and see which new upcoming project that wants to launch on our swap our community would like to support, and we'll redirect and siphon funds to help the growth of that project after they've been vetted. Let's see.
So the next page there.
So this slide covers our own vesting schedule. We have a really good group of early investors. And part of making sure that our launch was stable and continues to be stable for a while is a really committed vesting schedule. So as we were just talking about, a large problem is projects launching, large whales have huge supply and they dump it. So our early investors only had access to 10% of their initial committed liquidity. And so they're going to have the remaining unlock every 2 weeks. So the quarter of a remaining every 2 weeks after, and won't even have their full supply for over 2 months. So that's really helped already. And actually our team is great. Our investors have expressed a lot of love for our community and a lot of excitement in the direction we're going. And we really appreciate their support. And I think this was really important in ensuring that we had a good launch.
Can we go to the next slide there, Tom? Sorry. So guys, the roadmap here is not laid out in time, but it is laid out in our first goals, our second phase goals, our third phase goals. Why don't we pause for 30 seconds, just read through those.
Sure. So when we start on our roadmap, we call it our first footprints. We got together and wrote the tokenomics out, brainstormed the best way, got a lot of influencers and marketers together, and to ensure a good, strong launch. We were able to generate, as you see, a pretty decent amount of money in our reward holdings, the DAP fund. We have our white paper here completed. We were well into our marketing phase with much more planned, and we've only just begun our contest and giveaways. So we have taken our first steps, and we're really excited. We're less than a week old still, and we're already working on our next phase. We've been listed on CoinMarketCap. We have our NFT artwork right now. We have artists working and getting those produced, and we're just about finished with all of our token vesting, token locking. I don't think we mentioned our ETH locker too, which will function sort of as gift cards.
And this is not tokens. This is just a straight, in case people want to lock up ETH for various reasons.
Yeah, certainly. And this is by no means inclusive of all of our goals. This is just our short-term plans of what we hope to accomplish relatively soon. And this will be ongoing, and we'll have a new roadmap as we complete this section.
Of course, it all evolves, right?
Yeah, it does. And in case it's not clear, guys, if you go to shiburai.app, shiburai.app, you'll find the white paper. You'll also find some voting proposals on Snapshot. If you have a B2 balance, you can very easily go in there and vote.
Awesome stuff.
Tala, why don't we go to the next page there? Thank you, sir. Is the team here as found on viralcrypto.app. Why don't we go to the next one? Awesome, guys. And those are links for everybody. So at this point, I think we're ready for questions.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I have a ton. So so I'll try to I'll ask some from that I did based on my research, and then we'll throw it over to the community right after just so they can ask it. Let's see here. So a couple things I wanted to point out about the project. It looked like a real steady, rushed growth. Like there wasn't a big panic. There wasn't a big, rah, rah, rah. It was very unrushed, and that's really refreshing to see. So I wanted to point that out. First of all, you got tons of traction on Telegram and Twitter. I see something about a circle of honor as well, like a whale group. I mean, how many people are in that so far?
Sure, there's 24 folks in there, and you need to have 4,000 tokens to get in.
Perfect. All right, so there's the scoop on the whale group right there. Talking about a little bit about your promotion on New Year's Eve. It looks like you guys were out giving out a ton of ETH out there.
We did. Tala, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, community is a big part of our project, and it's all sort of about rewarding the community for their efforts. And so if we have an elite rate group as well of really dedicated community members that we're rewarding as part of our bounty boards. in terms of that specific giveaway, we were, for people who are going out and sort of commenting about us and letting the world know about their experiences with our project, we were sort of giving away ETH to them.
That's super cool. I think it's a great way to engage with people, get people talking, kind of incentivize that activity. I love it. So I had a great question roll in while you were explaining that one. This one's from Reddy. It said that they were planning to launch their own swap. I would like to ask how they're going to deal with the scalability issues. If this swap goes viral, there will be more traffic and it will be hard to handle. How will their backend scale with the users that pour into the application? For instance, most of the swaps were encountering downtimes or maintenance issues due to scalability issues. How are you going to deal with that?
Leo, scalability concerns, sir. I love that.
Yeah, certainly. Well, we have production servers lined up to launch, and
we've already been in talks, right? So about a different project. So it's fun.
Yeah, certainly. So we're already in talks with some production level servers, and there's no reason to believe that those won't be able to handle quite a bit of traffic. And if so, we can always expand our servers and scale alongside our user base.
Awesome. So I have a two-part question here from Leonardo. It says, are they bridged to BSC? If not, will they be? And if so, when they bridge to BSC, will I be able to mint the NFTs and sell them to my BSC customers in the metaverse?
Want to take that one on, Leo? I think we're being a bit mysterious about BSC, but do you want to take on minting and selling?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we'll make sure that we already have a bridge developer on the team, and we're considering which chains to expand to first. BSC is definitely one that's at the forefront, just based on the amount of volume and amount of people that use BSC. And we'll look. It's very important that our NFTs are accessible in as many ways as possible. So having them available on the BSC chain, I think that only makes sense. We do plan to have a presence on at least right now. We have 7 EVMs that we have our sights set on. But we know it's also important to take one step at a time to make sure each step is in the right direction. And yeah, most certainly. We'll get more updates to you soon on the next chain, and more than likely, it's looking like BSCs where we will expand to first.
Yeah, and that's something that I picked up pretty quick into the research element, was that there's a lot of mystery behind this project. You guys didn't just come out and say, here's our plans until the end of it. There's a lot of mystery at every single step. They made people, not made people, but they kept the anticipation high by releasing the white paper a few days later. There's a timer that's counting down on their website for more information and more releases. And I love that approach to projects. I love how they're not just spilling everything out all at once, and they're just impressing people with what they put out so far. So good answer on that one, Leo. David, I ended up unmuting you as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so are you listening to me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I actually noticed that you guys didn't talk about you guys didn't have plan for games. So I really like to know why you guys didn't have plans for games. Many projects actually include games in their projects. So, and it has really helped them a lot. When people play games, play to earn games and all these games, arcade games and every other thing. So it generates a lot of investment for the community, and it has really helped a lot of projects. So I've seen that in many projects, how games have really helped them a lot. So I really like to know why you guys don't have plan for that, or maybe you guys still have plan for that, maybe later on. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, David. I think it's a really good one. So as I was stating, as we were going over the roadmap, that roadmap is not all inclusive of everything we have planned. I think a lot of projects do talk about games, and game development is having a real game that's fun and engaging. It does take quite a bit of time, so we didn't want to bite our own feet, so to speak, too early and overpromise. A gaming experience is something that we're really passionate about as well. It's just we want to make sure that we approach that in a way
Can I make a statement as well? Can I make a
go ahead,
statement on it? Yeah, I would just say that if you're looking at the armor page, I think we're in February and that's all done. I think it's not a fib in any way, shape. This is recorded. I mean, Leon, tell me I'm wrong, but are we in February and somehow that's not done? I mean, I think we have new things to do at that point.
Yeah, we're on track to finish this in February. And then we'll obviously be expanding our roadmap to include our next set of goals.
Yeah, it's real, guys. So we're going to do quite a bit. And if I'm telling you the truth, Leo has games up, and he's been yelling at me to allow him time to develop. So we definitely are interested in it. If you know who we are, we're also involved in the gaming platform, and we're definitely interested in that world. Yeah, working with others to do it.
That's awesome. Certainly a good trend there. I have another one that came in from I butcher this guy's name every time. Sanguine, I think it is. I'm just going to go ahead and call him Sanguine from now on. This one is, it seems like the project understands the importance of incentivizing investors into the behaviors you want, the main ones being buying and holding the project. What are the more supportive roles throughout the project's longevity that the team feels are important to incentivize? And what new developments, apps, or programs are you working on to continue to shape the ecosystem to benefit from all types of transactions?
Yeah, that's a big question.
I know. Let's start off with the first one.
He wants my entire job.
So here, let's go through the first one, right? So what are the more supportive roles throughout the project's longevity that the team feels are important to incentivize?
Yeah. So Tala came through another project. He was a trusted admin mod and slowly gave more responsibilities to and worked more with. And now I have a group of about 15 to 17 folks in that group that I trust in DeFi and help scale projects and whatnot. Shiburai and our crypto are my passion projects for life. So that's where I work. In terms of what's really important to scale, that's based on the projects and it's based on the needs of the project. So on the different parts of the armory that we build, as they become maybe inbound for customer service issues, maybe we scale up overseas to some customer service and a B-level exec or somebody to run that customer service aspect. As we scale up the token locker and the vesting, maybe we're actually scaling up a BD, so some business development, some sales of that. I think it's need-based, and it's also we listed Shiburai at 10 cents and it went to $28 and it's now holding at about 80x about a week in. And we're following a model that's quite powerful. In a few weeks, we feel like has a good trajectory, and we're combining it with actually faster, more nimble development than I think has been seen recently. So you're going to see really, really cool things from us. And we definitely have to get set pieces as fast as possible. Lucky for me, I've got about 17 people I really trust who I can start to really put into those roles. And I've been doing that. Tala's one of them. And so we're actually quite well set up to scale, to be honest. It's what's actually becoming a little bit, to tell you the truth, if you guys want to know that biggest weakness question in the interview, we're now starting to get into other languages, translation and other language channels, and managing that and making sure we understand what's going on in those cultures and those languages. And we're very serious about growing it. So I would say for me, what's really important is other language managers, because they have to build a culture. I speak some Spanish, I speak some Arabic, I speak limited Mandarin, I can't read it, and so we need people who can really understand these, not just languages, but cultures, because we're going to support we have been supporting DeFi for a long time in other projects that you don't know about, and we're going to continue to support DeFi in these projects and other projects. So yeah, so for me, it's really about setting set pieces for building culture. It's culture eats strategy for breakfast. Peter Drucker, the boy. And then also what I would say for apps and for development pieces and for technology, I would like to let Leo speak for other things where we are very focused on catching every level of transaction. So Leo, if you want to speak a bit about that.
Yeah, most certainly. One place that I always see room for growth for is in artwork. I think there's so many DeFi community members out there who are in, whether it is graphic design or website development or NFT artwork. I think that's always there's always going to be a place for more of that on board. We're certainly looking at expanding our development team too, especially when you start talking about metaverse or gaming development. That'll be an area where we'll definitely need to broaden our skill set and have more developers get on board with us to move forward. And I think those are the two big avenues right there, artwork and developers, and then obviously our community, marketing, organic marketing. As Moon spoke, we're really trying to reach out around the world and get as many people who want to be a part of something like this involved and give them opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And also
just
voice
clear,
too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, with the voice too. I mean, you guys are setting yourselves up to where you're giving the community a voting power for initiatives. I think that's really cool. I think that empowers the community quite a bit.
Well, we're gonna take it a step further. So we're building one big elite raider group, and then we're gonna split it into two teams: the red versus blue, the Shogun versus the Daimyo. Back in the day there was a Shim and the elites, and they're going to be competing and working together. Everybody wins, everybody unlocks prizes, but the team who wins unlocks bigger prizes. And I'm very interested in giving those folks a voice. Why they won, why we should all listen to them a little bit. So yes, I think rewards tokens, all the bounty board stuff is going to figure in there. Very exciting to actually work with that. I myself am a die-hard marketer. When I was 19, I went door to door. I'm 34. I have built businesses, but I'm very much interested in helping everybody grow, especially the marketers, and of course the developers and the smart investors.
Super cool stuff. All right, I have the Crypto Kyle. I have you unmuted if you had a question for the team.
Right on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay, so, well, touching back on your last comments about how you're very much business-minded, one of my questions is that, financials in marketing are mysterious in a lot of crypto projects. When making financial investments, I tend to look at them as business investments, looking at all the plays you guys are doing in creating DXs, generating revenue, or a DEX, not DEXs, but one DEX. What kind of revenues will that generate? Are there financial projections for those? And do you actually plan to prepare financial documents on where money's getting spent and that type of thing, just so we can look at it as more of a professional business investment rather than a shot in the dark type of investment?
Interesting. Yeah, so Kyle, Leo, do you want to take some of this and I'll take some of this? I would like to talk about volumes. In terms of the DEX, right, I would definitely be lying to you if I told you, would you mind going on mute while we explain?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No worries. So I would definitely be lying to everybody on the call if I said, here's an internal projection that makes sense. My uncle's a venture capitalist, very successful. And I have family, talk about this all day long, and I work with them, and I understand these things. So we can put numbers on the page, but I don't think those are real. I have a number of developers, I'll say 4 right now, who are willing to use our new DEX. It's not even created yet. I have one that's already interested in relaunching immediately on the DEX as soon as it's up. We have multiple projects that are going to relaunch. So conservatively, I'm looking at about 10 to 15 projects. And then if I know me, I'm going to get out there and get a whole bunch more. So I have not even pressed my developer friends. I haven't really done it. We haven't started to market it. We've just basically teased that this is happening because of this new Uniswap router issue, creating a real need. So as we move forward, I actually see a decent amount of volume coming to us. So Leo, let's say we get 50 projects in 2022 at a minimum. We haven't decided on rewards for LP providers yet. We haven't decided exactly on fees yet, but if you would like to give a rough conservative projection, I'm okay with that. And just have in mind, guys, we're not, this is definitely rough just from the DEX.
Well, I think it's important that it's not just the DEX that's, we're going to have fees from the DEX. We're going to have fees from our locking investing contracts. We're going to have fees from the DAF fund, the returns on the DAF fund. I think our entire focus is around fee generation, and I think we have some. I'm with Moon. I don't want to give you any projections that wouldn't be accurate. I don't think that's very professional.
I looked at it, and what I'll tell you is it's a huge amount of money, but that's also a little ridiculous to say on the phone, Kyle.
Without even giving a full projection, maybe explain or breaking down how the revenue model works in a DX would be great. I don't need that in this call right now. Maybe even in a little document, just to help educate all of the people, especially when we're running our elite rate teams and things like that. That's the sort of thing that I think we can use to help promote the project and explaining what we're doing and where some of the value can come from. People can extrapolate their own numbers on volume, right? Whether if we say it'll make 0.5% on transactions or 0.1% or 2%, whatever it is, just understanding how their revenue model works, educating people and helping make, because most people investing in crypto are dartboard investors, but if you can help make them so they're realizing they're either investing in technology or an actual asset. And so that's where I think that kind of thing will really help a lot.
Interesting. And then in terms of preparing documents for marketing spend, I'm almost completely against that because of the nature of decentralized finance. But the fact of the matter is that we are moving the marketing money to basically everybody who's working on the project, to people who have, non-public fees for AMAs and non-public fees for services and non-public fees for all the things they do. So I'm definitely against publishing some kind of document that says, here's all the marketing spend. But if you go to shiburaimarketing.eth, you'll clearly see that we have made our marketing wallet very docs. That's our marketing wallet. And shiburaidev.eth is our dev wallet and our DAF. Is that right, Leo?
That's correct.
Yep. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble anywhere with any kind of, here's what these fees are for, here's what this payment is for, because I do feel like in the nature of decentralized finance, that could run afoul of many people's interest in working with us. Does that make sense?
That makes great sense. It also gives us an idea of what our budgets are constantly, or what access to capital we do have for marketing and such. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And money builds up in the contract and it sends out there and automatically fills up. And that's in the tokenomics as well. I believe it's 5% for marketing and development on all transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have a constant flow there, guys. We have some great backers of the project. Some of the largest names in DeFi are with us, and we're really focused on providing value. It's not because Leo and I don't want to. Leo and I know we're just going to make a ton of money. I think we're both reticent to say numbers that we aren't positive about. So,
and I think that's fair too. But it was a great question and a great answer. I think that you guys are hitting it right on the head. I think that some people prefer that anonymous feel to it in terms of pricing and things like that. So I think that was a great answer to that one.
It's important. It's just a part of this, guys. Just to be totally honest, if we want to be as facile and as powerful as possible, we need to be playing the game and doing our best to improve it, right? And so if you look at borrowcrypto.app, just not because we're trying to plug it, but because it is literally our 6-month-long attempt, and as we keep developing that, to make a powerful solution for DeFi that allows you to build reputation without having the docs, allows you to have payment structures with people that are based on accountability and reputation without having the docs. Which, as I look to the future of what's going on in various countries, I see it as really important. So, and Leo, I don't know if you want to speak at all about that.
Yeah, obviously we're here to talk about Shiburai, but we have our feet dipped in so many avenues of providing value. We just believe so much in this space, and there's just so much to offer, so many opportunities. So whether it's from building a NFT community, presence in the metaverses, playing to earn games, freelance network to collaborate with others, we're really here to build our community and help people grow in this space.
And we'd love to take some more questions too.
Yeah. We have God Mercy Babola.
Yeah, good day over there. I'm speaking here from Nigeria.
Hey, brother, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm doing this project for the first time, and I want to ask a question. What is that great thing that you want to use in, building this community as that thing that will attract, great investors, good hand investors into this project?
I didn't quite understand it, man. I'm sorry. You're asking what's the real highlight that's going to attract big investors? What's the big TLDR?
Those are the big things.
What's the big things? Okay. Well, the big thing is Leo and I. Would you mind going on mute while we give you an answer to that? Thank you, sir. Did you guys just mind going on mute?
1 second here. There we go.
Awesome. So yeah, it's a great question. What are the super highlights? The super highlights, in my mind, what the ultimate highlights are, Leo knows what he's doing. He consulted. We're going to build it. The token locking contract is basically done. It's 4 out of 5 contracts done for vesting. The swap is underway. We've already let you know how quickly we're going to get these things done. And we have friends who have difficulty with the router issues, and they're going to be excited to work with us. So we have fee-generating products that already have committed users. We have a utility that's already going to benefit holders. So I would say that's pretty interesting right off the bat. We listed at 10 cents, went to $28, and are hanging out at ADX because we're working with a lot of great folks in DeFi who've had success, working off of recent models of success, and also working with those folks directly in the project. And Leo, I don't know if you wanted to give any other highlights.
Well, we have a huge list of, if you talk about an investment, it's not just the price of the token that you're looking at with our project. It's everything that's conglomerating together, whether it's from NFT sales, the swap fees, vesting fees, our DAF fund, which is comprised of about 5 or 6 different revenue generating possibilities, and we're really just focused on taking your position and raising it up. And that's both through community involvement and return on your investment financially. That's our center focus, is just bringing as much value to the investor as possible.
Yeah, I think it's a good explanation there, guys. I think you've done a great job of explaining, what you guys are bringing to the table, as well as leaving a little bit of intrigue for people that are on the fence or, just wanting something more. I don't think you guys are anywhere close to releasing your full potential here. So I did have one come in from Hania Jodis. This person was asking, would they ever consider music NFTs?
Of course we would. I've been playing music since I'm 3 years old. We got a whole thing coming. Yes, sir. But what specifically are you talking about?
I'm not too sure. It looks like they just got online, but it looks like they were just curious about the music NFT side of things and any potential future that those may have.
I'm focused on it. Yes.
I want to say something. I'm all for that. Actually, we've already had a community member who made a rap song for us, and it's actually quite good. And we'd love to be able to expand out and create music NFTs for the Shiburai community.
I'm also interested in just helping musicians, right? So music NFTs, yes, but what does that mean? Is it rights? There's things you can do with events, with concerts. There's really interesting things you can do with tickets. I'm looking at that for sure, and it's what we're going to be doing. This.
Yeah, I'm sure that side of commerce will certainly move over to the crypto side here shortly.
Ticketing for sure. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I have Knight here. If Knight has a question for us.
Yeah, I want to ask. We had the team, the Shiburai team, say blockchain, the world of blockchain is come, and how do they intend to use the Shiburai token to change the landscape of the currency in years to come?
It's been Hunter. I understand you, brother.
Yeah, I said, where do you and your team see the world of blockchain in years to come? And how do you guys intend to use the Shiburai token to change the landscape of cryptocurrency in years to come.
Awesome. How do we plan to use the token to change the landscape? Leo, do you want to take this?
Yeah, certainly. Well, and also to your part of where blockchain is going, I think pretty much every financial institution, every business, every avenue of business that you're familiar with is going to be moving to the blockchain. There's ways to set up trustless systems, whether that's through voting or through tracking inventory, the history of accounts. There's just too many opportunities to pass up. And I think the way we're changing DeFi is building opportunity. I think that's number one, is allowing for a place to people to transition to from their traditional markets and their traditional presences in retail or employment, and giving them a way to earn in so many different ways. And then being part of a community that only looks to innovate and improve upon that.
Yeah, I really agree with that 100%. Leo and I are pretty focused on, if we're valuable, you will work with us in the future. So we want to provide value, and we've been doing it for a while. So yeah, it's a great question, Nate. Did that actually answer it? I hope.
Let's see. I see him with his hand back up here tonight. I got you unmuted again. Feel free to follow up on that if you had any more questions. You might have to just mute.
It's fine. I'm good. I'm good with the answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome, guys. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming on today. There's so much in store for this project that I'm just really excited to see you guys unveil, piece by piece, each aspect of this project. But, great explanation, great answers to the question. I absolutely, I love the project. I think it's got a ton of potential.
Can we give you the name of the swap, Leo? Can we announce the name of the swap?
Go right ahead. Yeah, I'm excited.
The Shiburai Fuji Swap, guys.
Fuji
Is
Swap.
on the way. It's being written right now, and it's coming. Fuji Swap is coming your way.
For all the lucky people that attended today, you have the insider scoop that Fuji Swap is coming soon.
Very soon. Very soon.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Hey, VC Labs, Tala, Leo, I appreciate you guys coming on. You guys did a great explanation on the entire scope of the project, at least what's on the roadmap for right now. I'm excited to see you guys evolve.
Yeah, thank you, Smeagol. Happy New Year's to everyone that was a part of this. Looking forward to having you join our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. Take care.
You too.
All right, that does it for today's show. Thank you to everyone for tuning in for another showcase of a very promising project in Shiburai that has so many things to look forward to, and it's already seeing some great success so far. We want to remind everyone that we'll be selecting the winners for our BNB giveaway after the show concludes. If you want to stay up to date on future AMAs as well as interact with the Gollum community, join our Twitter at Gollum's Gyms and give us a follow. As always, we welcome any feedback regarding the show and invite you to DM us any suggestions you may have. Thank you again for tuning in.
All right, Yon World. So that was the end of the Shiburai AMA with Gollum Gems. Just bringing that for y'all, bringing that information for y'all. It's a lot of things coming with the Shiburai project. I want y'all to watch this replay if you missed it. I'm gonna leave this AMA up about Shiburai. This is a project I am invested in, so I'll continue to bring y'all more information on this project. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications for your boy Yon World. I appreciate the support. I'm out. Peace.